Emmerdale reveals a huge new setback for Joe and Kim Tate tonight as Gabby Thomas picks a side in their new feud with the Dingles. Just when it seemed like Moira Dingle was ready to sell Butler's farm to the Tates, Gabby steps in with a helpful warning that she shouldn't be too hasty. Viewers have seen Joe resort to dirty tricks to force Moira out of the farm she's overseen for the past 16 years. After her most recent setback, which saw her fall for Celia Daniels' scheming and lose thousands of pounds in a botched deal with a spa hotel, Moira had agreed to finally sell Butler's to Kim and stay on as a tenant farmer. In Thursday's episode, however, Gabby decides that she can't stay silent about what she knows regarding the deal. She is marrying into the Dingle family, after all. Kim is desperate to buy out the land because it's crucial to her wider plans for the local area, although she hasn't told Moira that. In a quiet chat at the pub, Gabby tells Moira, "You'd get a lot more money if you held out." Apparently, huge areas of farmland are going to be repurposed, so the value's going to shoot up. Which is why Kim wants to get her hands on Butler's now. She adds, "You can't tell her or Joe that this has come from me. Look, you're in a much stronger position than you think." Kim is desperate for that land. Without it, she can't get the access routes she needs to tie the other land together. The revelation of Kim's latest deception is enough to put Moira off signing the deal for good. But fortunately, there's another enticing option waiting in the wings. Moira agrees to strike an alternative arrangement with Victoria and Robert Sugden, who'll buy into the business and help get it back on its feet. Emmerdale's power struggle explodes. Gabby betrays Kim and Joe in Dingle feud. Emmerdale is no stranger to feuds, betrayals, and dramatic power struggles. But tonight's episode promises to take tensions to new heights as Kim Tate and Joe Tate's ruthless plans for expansion face an unexpected stumbling block. In a shocking twist, Gabby Thomas, who has been drawn into the center of the village's most powerful families, makes a bold move that could derail the Tate empire once again. For weeks, fans have watched Joe and Kim play a dangerous game with Moira Dingle over Butler's farm, a beloved cornerstone of Emmerdale life. Moira, exhausted from years of battling to keep the farm afloat, seemed on the verge of caving into their demands, until Gabby intervenes with a crucial piece of information that changes everything. And with the Dingles and Tates already longtime rivals, Gabby's decision to side with the Dingles could spark a new era of conflict in the village. Moira's struggles come to a head. To understand just how high the stakes are, it's important to revisit Moira's recent struggles. The Butler's farm matriarch has carried enormous responsibility ever since she took charge of the land 16 years ago, weathering tragedy, financial ruin, and heartbreak along the way. Running the farm has never been easy. From losing husband John Sugden in a devastating accident, to carrying the burden of multiple family dramas, to navigating rocky relationships with Kane and the wider Dingle clan. Moira's resilience has been remarkable, but recent storylines have seen her pushed to breaking point. Her latest ordeal came at the hands of Celia Daniels, whose manipulative scheme cost Moira thousands of pounds in a disastrous spa hotel deal. Already struggling with mounting debts and dwindling resources, Moira reached her lowest ebb. When Kim Tate came calling with an offer to buy Butler's, it seemed like the only way out of her troubles. Kim cleverly pitched the deal as a lifeline, promising Moira the chance to remain on the farm as a tenant farmer. It would allow her to keep working the land she loves, while relieving herself of the crushing financial responsibility. For Moira, who has fought tooth and nail to preserve her legacy, it appeared to be the least painful solution. But what Moira didn't know, and what Gabby is about to reveal, is that Kim and Joe's intentions go far beyond helping her. The Tates' ruthless expansion plans. Kim Tate has never been one to play fair. As one of the soap world's most iconic businesswomen, her reputation for scheming, manipulation, and ruthless ambition is legendary. Since returning to the village, she has sought to rebuild her empire piece by piece, and Butler's farm has always been part of her vision. Joe Tate, meanwhile, has been following in his step-grandmother's footsteps. After years away, Joe has returned with renewed determination to cement the Tate family legacy. Viewers have seen him resort to dirty tricks in his mission to oust Moira, including underhand business tactics designed to leave her cornered. But Kim's desire for Butler's isn't just about expanding her portfolio. As Gabby later explains to Moira, the farm's location is pivotal. Without acquiring Butler's, Kim cannot secure the access routes she needs to tie her other land investments together. It's a classic Tate move. Buying up land not just for its current value, but to manipulate the future. For Kim, the farm is a golden key that unlocks her broader development plans. For Moira, it's a trap she never saw coming. Gabby Thomas, a surprising ally. The person who finally tips the balance is perhaps the most surprising of all. Gabby Thomas has long been caught between different families and conflicting loyalties. As the daughter of Ashley and Bernice, she grew up as something of an outsider in the village, often craving belonging. Over the years, she has been drawn into Kim's world, living at home farm and working under her influence. But Gabby is also set to marry into the Dingle family, meaning her loyalties have shifted in unexpected ways. Tonight's episode captures that conflict perfectly. In a quiet, conspiratorial conversation at the Woolpack, Gabby warns Moira not to sell too quickly. Choosing her words carefully, she drops a bombshell that reframes the entire deal. "You'd get a lot more money if you held out," she tells Moira. Apparently, huge areas of farmland are going to be repurposed, so the value's going to shoot up. Which is why Kim wants to get her hands on Butlers now. The weight of Gabby's revelation cannot be overstated. For Moira, it exposes Kim's deceit. For Kim and Joe, it represents a devastating betrayal from someone they believed to be in their corner. Gabby's warning is laced with caution. She insists that Moira must not reveal the information came from her, knowing full well the wrath that Kim and Joe would unleash. Yet by siding with Moira and, by extension, the Dingles, Gabby has effectively chosen her future family over her current benefactors. Moira finds new hope. Gabby's words arrive at exactly the right moment. Just as Moira was preparing to sign away her future, she is reminded of her strength and worth. Far from being powerless, she realizes she holds the upper hand. Kim may be desperate to secure the land, but Moira doesn't have to hand it over on their terms. Instead, she begins to consider her alternatives, and one option proves particularly enticing. Robert and Victoria Sugden, who share a deep-rooted connection to the farm and its history, step forward with an offer to buy into the business. Their investment could give Moira the support she needs to restore Butler's fortunes, without sacrificing her ownership. For Moira, who has always prioritized family above all else, teaming up with the Sugdens feels like a far more natural and secure alliance. It's a moment of hope in an otherwise bleak chapter, and a chance for Moira to fight back against Kim and Joe's machinations. The fallout: what happens next? With the deal collapsing, the Tates face a crushing setback. Kim is not used to being outmaneuvered, and her fury will no doubt be unleashed on Gabby once the truth emerges. Joe, equally determined, is unlikely to let Moira slip through his fingers so easily. For Gabby, the consequences of her betrayal could be life-changing. Though she has acted out of loyalty to the Dingles, her position at home farm is now precarious. Will Kim cut her out completely? Or will Gabby find herself caught in an even more dangerous web, trying to juggle her ties to both families? The Dingles, meanwhile, may rally around Moira, but their ongoing feud with the Tates is set to intensify. Emmerdale history is littered with battles between these dynasties, from land wars to personal vendettas, and tonight's episode could mark the start of another chapter in their long and bloody saga. Why this storyline matters. What makes this storyline so compelling is how it draws on decades of Emmerdale history. Butler's farm has always been symbolic, a place where family, legacy, and survival intersect. To see Moira almost lose it to the Tates, only to fight back with renewed strength, taps into the heart of what makes the soap resonate with viewers. Gabby's involvement adds an extra layer of intrigue. Once seen as a pawn in Kim's empire, she is now proving she can think for herself and choose her own loyalties. Her decision to side with Moira could reshape her future, while also positioning her as a player in the power games that dominate village life. For Kim and Joe, the setback is both infuriating and dangerous. Whenever the Tates are thwarted, they don't simply lick their wounds, they retaliate. And with Kim's track record, fans can expect her to come back stronger, angrier, and more ruthless than ever. A new chapter in the Tate-Dingle War. Emmerdale thrives on dynastic conflicts, and the Tate-Dingle feud is one of its most enduring. This latest chapter not only rekindles that rivalry but raises the stakes higher than ever. On one side, you have Kim and Joe, wealthy, strategic, and unrelenting in their pursuit of dominance. On the other, Moira and the Dingles, bruised but unbroken, bound by loyalty, and willing to fight for what's theirs. Gabby's choice to align with the Dingles is symbolic of the shifting tides. It demonstrates that even those once under Kim's control are beginning to resist her influence. And with the Sugdens entering the mix, the stage is set for an explosive clash that could redefine the village power balance. Final thoughts. Tonight's episode of Emmerdale promises everything fans love about the show: betrayal, high-stakes business battles, family loyalty, and the resilience of underdogs. Moira's refusal to bow to Kim Tate's manipulation is a fist-pumping moment for viewers who have rooted for her through years of hardship. Gabby's bold intervention, meanwhile, makes her one of the most fascinating characters in the soap right now, caught between two worlds, yet finally stepping into her own. As the dust settles, one question remains. How far will Kim Tate go to reclaim what she believes is hers? And when she strikes back, who will pay the price? One thing is certain, the war between the Tates and the Dingles is far from over. And for fans, that means even more drama, twists, and unforgettable confrontations lie ahead.